These women were in third place. Jack Whitaker along with Kathy Rigby McCoy. Can lightning strike again?
Oh, I think absolutely can. The U.S. women are coming into this competition only 4.5 of a point behind Romania. That's not a lot. Their optional routines are stronger than their compulsory, and they have that great psychological boost from the men's spectacular competition last night. It's a realistic dream for the U.S. to go for the gold. The Romanians are fighters, and they've been struggling with the Soviets and the East Germans over the years. They're used to the pressure, and we should get ready for a tremendous battle between Romania and the U.S.
All right, Kathy, thank you. There's the bell signifying that the competition indeed is about to begin, so let's go to it. Our ladies will start, the United States ladies, on the uneven bars. And they're getting them ready down here. The unevens, how are we set up with those, Kathy? Got a pretty strong event for us?
This is a strong event for us. It's a very critical event for us. We start on the bars, then we go right to the balance beam. If we can get these two events out of the way, everybody hits, then we're on our way, because floor exercise and vaulting, we are spectacular.
Julianne McNamara, of course, it's her strength is the uneven bars. You're looking here at Pam Bilek, who will be first. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Going to Pacifica High School in Huntington Beach, California, and they'll be cheering for her.
And Pam was extremely strong for us starting out on the vault in the compulsories. She had a break on the compulsory routine. Let's see if she can get it together on her optional exercise.
Now, on the uneven bars in the compulsories, Romania beat the United States, but by only 3/10. Here's a comparison of all the paraphernalia, the gymnastic equipment. There are 4 in women's competition.
And the crowd is going crazy over Julianne's warm-up. Let's see what she does in the actual competition. This crowd, as you say, will go off the top, out the roof.
Well, they're getting ready. There's the water and
chalk. It helps the grip on the bar.
That's a tough diet. Water and chalk, huh? This is the one, Kathy, I always thought you needed strong abdominal muscles because you slam into that lower bar. Doesn't it hurt?
Well, actually, Jack, you don't hit your stomach on the bar. You hit the fold of your leg on the bar. And these women have been in gymnastics so long, they know the timing, they know how to hit that low bar. There's Julianne McNamara waiting her turn. You can see the pressure. Deep breath.
Yeah, let's get it going. Let's get the first one done, and we'll be all right. It's like, oh, yeah. Deep breath, Julie.
I was speaking to Bella, and he was saying that Mary Lou and Julianne are so psyched for this event.
Bela Karolyi coaches those two, Mary Retton, whom you're looking at now, and Julianne, and we have a microphone on him tonight, so we might hear some words of encouragement and wisdom. We're about to begin, finally, Pam Bilek.
Free straddle over the low bar. Done very well. Good form so far. Reverse hack to difficulty. Those judges are looking for that extra risk, and that was a risk move. Double leg shoot through there. Her swing is right on. There's her salter to a handstand. She hit the low bar, it sounded like there. And a full twisting Comaneci. Great routine. A little hit on the low bar. Let's see if the judges heard it.
Don Peters, the women's coach.
Get out there and help the next one up. Here's her kip. Let's see if we can see. Didn't look like it there. There's her reverse hack. Half turn to the low bar. Her swing is tremendous. She's doing a great job. Double leg shoot through. Right to a handstand. Here's her stalter. No, she didn't look like she hit that low bar. Maybe not. To on full twisting Comaneci there. Little step backwards, not too big a deduction. Okay, look at her hands. Now she has to grasp that bar hard enough to stay on, but not too hard so that she can't move. And there's her dismount. And her score, 9-6. So Pamela Bilek starts the United States women off with a 9-6 at the uneven bars. Remember, the top 5 scores count. They throw out the low score. As we go now to Tracy Talavera. And Tracy has some of the most difficulty in her routine. Her routine is composed with one hard move after the other. She has been a tough competitor this entire competition so far.
6 years on the senior national team. She's a veteran.
Here's her straddle over. Right to a clear hip handstand. Right into a front.
Right.
Beautifully executed. Drops to the low bar. Her swing is tremendous, and that's what the judges are looking for. She switches hands there. There's her reverse grip. Right into a front. Once again, and Jack, she's moving so well. This team is psyched.
Well, this takes so much strength for the women, doesn't it? These uneven
Incredible
bars.
amount of strength.
She's doing it so well.
Oh, what
beautiful.
a way to end this routine. Double fly away. They're on
All right.
tonight.
Tracy Talavera,
Ooh.
Walnut Creek, California.
They know what they have to do. Let's take another look. Here's her clear hip. Now, right at the top of her handstand, she does a front flip. Very difficult on timing. It's very easy to hit your feet and then hit that low bar if you're not careful. You can imagine in practice.
Tracy's so tall, it's more difficult for her.
Yes. Let's take another look. You can see her right into the handstand. Actually, we're going to a straddle kip and a double flyaway. And she's in good position close to that high bar. You can see why the timing's important on that particular move. If her feet hit that bar, she's on her hands and knees very quickly.
Tracy Talavera waiting for her score. Now, while the United States are on the uneven bars, the Romanians are on the ball. 9-7-5 for Tracy Talavera. That moves the women up.
They have to be happy with those routines. They have been on right at the beginning, and these are difficult events, the balance beam and the floor and the uneven bars.
Here is Kathy Johnson. She's the veteran on the team, 24 years old.
Kathy has impeccable form and one difficulty after the other. All the American gymnasts have very extremely difficult and high-risk routines. There's her half twist kick to the high bar. Watch this. A reverse hack. These women are swinging better than I have ever seen them in the past. Right into a Delchev, which is a half twist front flip. She is on. Let's see if she can hold on to it right to a toe-on handstand to her giant swings here. And a double twisting flyaway. Let's hope they stay this consistent and powerful. Woo, they are on.
Big hug from Mary Lou Retton for Kathy Johnson.
Jack, the pressure is on, but they are handling it. Let's take another look at her dismount. She gets ready with these giant swings. This gives her the momentum to cast up very high at the end and complete 2 twists. Once again, you can see the hand work where they really have to grip that bar. And this is where they show grip changes, where she does her reverse to a front flip. It's amazing how close she is to that bar. And she has to drop to the low bar.
That's why they wear those bandages around their wrists.
That's right.
Kathy Johnson waiting for her score. This crowd seems to be taking the pressure tonight. They're like a little quiet, aren't they?
I think they're holding their breath.
Yes.
They want another miracle.
Last night it was so boisterous and marvelous here, and it will get that way tonight. Still waiting on the score there. Let's go to Laura Cutina of Romania on the vault. This is the first of 2 for her.
A powerful gymnast. Number 3 for Romania. Full twisting Sukahara and executed extremely well. She ran fast, went high up in the air.
9-8-0 for Kathy Johnson, along with Tracy Talavera's 9-7-5. The women are marching.
They are marching very well.
Now we come to Michelle Desir.
Michelle has been consistent through this entire meet and a lady with no world championship experience. She is handling this pressure and excitement so very well.
Pretty tough at 15.
No, you're absolutely right. Handstand. Look at the form. She goes directly to the handstand. There's her Higgins roll right into a front somi. See if she can get the momentum going. Continue, actually. She's doing quite well. Here's another Stalter to a handstand. I'm sure her thoughts right now are stick that landing.
Did a pretty good job.
Oh, one right after the other.
In Garden Grove, California, Michelle Desir.
On the super slow-mo, you can see the dismount quite clearly. Sometimes when they're moving so fast, it's difficult to see exactly what they're doing. Her straddle is very tight on the bar. She lifts those heels way above the bar. You have to do that to get enough height. Watch how her chest whips into her legs, giving her the momentum to turn all the way around there on that Comey front with a half twist.
Boy, they sure do a lot of things in a short period of time, don't they?
Exactly.
Laura Kutina had 9.80 and a 9.75 on her 2 vault, so she'll keep, of course, the 9.80. As we look at Michelle Ducere waiting for her score on the uneven bars. Meantime, the Chinese women are on the balance beam.
Everybody is fighting.
9.80. And as it was last night, the battle is joined here in the first rotation between the Romanians and the United States. This is Lavina Agaki over at the vault, one of Romania's outstanding gymnasts.
And Lavinia was actually leading the compulsory competition and is a strong vaulter as well. Full twisting Suka, 1.5 twisting Sukahara, very nice.
This is Mary Lou Retton on the uneven bar.
There was a little bit of an arch there, but Mary Lou is moving quite well, especially in the beginning of her routine. That was her Retton flip, right into a handstand on the low bars, right into another handstand. This lady is dynamite.
Whoa!
Very aggressive.
That's what you look for, a landing like that. Mary Lou Retton.
Complete precision timing on everything.
He woke this crowd up.
He certainly did. Everybody's rooting for the Americans in this crowd.
9-9 on Agaki's vault. So the Romanians, as we knew, are going to be very formidable. Let's watch Mary Lou
Big battle.
Retton.
Here's a reverse hex. Now this is where I believe we had a little bit of trouble. Whoops, we're going to stop there. Here we are. Stomach whip. Right into that front. That's called the Retton flip. Nice and high. She didn't over-rotate, and she got a 9-9 on the uneven bars. Great start for the Americans.
Hey, Agaki gets 9-9 on the vault. Mary Lou comes back with 9-9 on the uneven bar.
They're playing ping pong out there.
Yep. Just like it was last night. Mary Lou Retton. Oh, boy.
You have to give credit to Don Peters and Bella Caroli. They have psyched these girls up, and all the hard work that they've done.
Here in slow motion, we'll have a look at Lavinia Agaki's second vault.
Her 9-9 vault. She gets tremendous speed here. Good position in the air, and here's her full twist. With 1.5 twist, actually.
And here's our strength on the uneven bars, Julianne McNamara.
And she is. She can swing like nobody in this competition. Watch how each move is fully extended. One difficulty after another. She doesn't let a move go by without a twist or a flip. Her handstands, her stalters. Look at that, right to the handstand. Front with a half twist. And this entire USA team has hit. And they've got one of the most difficult events out of the way. They go to balancing next, and they've got to be so excited at this point.
Wow, lovely smile on Julianne's face, and no wonder. Let's take another
Are
look.
we seeing shades of the men or what? Here's her stalter, right up to a straight body, straight leg handstand. This lady has the best technique in the entire competition on this event. Way above the ground and above that high bar. She lays it out when she comes down, almost standing right up. What a routine, and what a fine lady she is.
Julianne McNamara. Oh, Mary Lou Retton, she just really...
Will we see a 10 here?
Well, let's see. Let us wait. While we're waiting, we'll see in slow motion the Romanian Ekaterina Szabo.
And this is a pike full twisting Sukahara, more difficult than the tucked Sukahara, because those legs are open just a little bit more. And she landed well, and let's see what the judges say.
Waiting for her score, too. It could come down with Agaki and Szabo against Retton and McNamara.
Well, as we said, it's a real back and forth.
There's Ekaterina Szabo waiting for her score from the first vault.
And you can see her looking around a little bit to the uneven bars. They know that this is probably as big a battle as if they were the Soviets.
And here the crowd getting rested with the scoring. We were about 30 minutes late starting because of slow scoring in the last session. Julianne truly can. There's a 10 for Szabo's first ball. A 10 for Szabo's first ball.
And look at the tears in her eyes.
Yes. You cannot do better than that, Katerina?
Right.
She'll take the second ball anyway, right?
Hey. And you can bet that this crowd will go wild if Julianne doesn't get a 10.
Well, it's a good look at this young lady who is the big star of Romania.
Very good position all the way around. She's got distance and height. You can see a slight separation in the legs, but from where the judges were sitting, I don't know if they'll see that.
Well, once again, when the judges are slow like this, it absolutely throws off the next competitor.
Exactly. You can see once again she gets
But
good
this is the
touch.
last
Off the
competitor,
board.
though, but they're going to hold up the whole operation.
Exactly.
A 10 for Julianne McNamara. And I tell you, again, Szabo gets 10, Julianne McNamara gets 10.
Fighting tooth and nail back and forth. Whoa.
Szabo got 9-9 on her second ball, but it's meaningless, really, after the 10. And there's Bela, who used to be Szabo's coach.
Okay. Good enough. That is broken. Okay. That's good. Get him.
The ice is broken indeed. Oh, Julianne McNamara, a perfect 10 on the uneven bars.
Couldn't be more deserved by just a classy lady, someone who works extremely hard, as all the athletes do, but this lady is intense. And she's not even thinking about that 10 anymore. She knows she has to go to the balance beam, and that's a big obstacle at this point. They have to hit. We have to make up those 4.5 tenths, and we're going head-to-head right now. So,
All right, we'll be back with more Olympics in just a moment. And we want to tell our stations that we'll go for local news as close to 11 o'clock as possible, and we'll advise you how long later on. Looking down now over UCLA and inside Pauley Pavilion now, Julianne McNamara, who just hit a perfect 10 on the uneven bars, and the rotation just over because the Chinese women were a little slower on the balance beam. And now, Ann Simon, our colleague, has the biggest celebrity in Hollywood today. Ann?
That I do, Jack. Last night it was his turn to endure the nervous. Tonight it's the ladies. What are they going through right now?
Oh, they're going through a lot of pressure, but I think that the ladies are up. They're going to keep staying up. That's what we did. We kept ourselves going, and I can tell just after bars that the girls are really up. And even if they fall behind a little bit, they're going to keep that momentum, and they're going to be tough to the end, regardless of what happens.
Right now you're in the lead for the all-around championship. You going to lose any sleep over that in anticipation?
Well, I think that anything that happens after this would be icing on the cake. I really think that our gold medal was icing on the cake, so I'm just going to try to go out there and hit all 6 routines, and I have to think of the meet as just starting from zero, and that's how I'm going to have to play it.
I heard you last night, Peter, when you were looking for the results, and you said, oh, no, I'm in the lead, uh-oh.
Well, I didn't ask for that. You know, I just wanted to hit my routines and do all I can to get the USA in first, and when I saw myself in first all-around, I said, boy, I guess I have a chance, and it puts a little pressure on me, but hopefully I'll be able to deal with it.
Peter Vidmar. Jack, you're right. He's the big star.
All right. Thank you very much. And they're the gymnasts now preparing to march to their next apparatus. And here's the score after that first rotation. Romania still in first place. The United States is second by 0.6 of a point now. So despite the marvelous performance, they lost a little ground with the Chinese women in third. Julianne McNamara leading with the United States women as they move from the uneven bars to the balance beam. The Romanians will move to the uneven bars, and the Chinese women will be on the floor exercise. Now, the floor exercise includes music, so if you hear music, all of a sudden, that's what it will be from. 15/100ths of a point we lost in that first rotation.
That is not much.
All right, Julie McNamara, of course, is one of our bright stars in gymnast world, so why don't we take a closer look at her?
5 years, 18-year-old Julianne McNamara has been a nomad, practicing the art of gymnastics in Oregon, California, and now Houston. She was born in New York City. She has been treated like a rare hothouse flower, tenderly nourished, but isolated from a normal teenage life.
I think we are mature in a way. A lot of kids, they don't know what they want to do, and they waste maybe 3 or 4 years of their life fooling around, whereas I've pretty much known what I've wanted at an early age. I've known since the time I was, 13 that, I wanted to become a world-class gymnast. I've really always been self-motivated. You're putting in all the work, and you're putting in all the hours, and you can't be doing it for someone else. You have to be doing it for yourself. It's hard sometimes. Some days you kind of wonder, is it worth it? There's that goal that you've set for yourself, and sometimes it seems so far away, and then other times it seems so close. Some days the workouts aren't so fun, going in there, working out every day, but at the same time you have to enjoy it. I guess the question I get asked a lot is, do I feel like I've missed out on a normal life? But to me, what's been normal is to be in a gym, 5 or 6 hours a day, and it's been my choice. It's been what I wanted to do, and it's not like I was forced into doing it. And if I wanted to do, the things that my friends were doing, or those type of things, then I could have done it. I could have at any time just said, I'm done with my gymnastics. I don't want to do it anymore. But it wasn't that way. It was my choice.
It was the self-exiled Romanian Bela Karolyi who coached Nadia Comaneci, who brought Julianne to Houston. He looks for a great gymnast, not in the limbs, but in the eyes.
You can find a great athlete looking on the eyes. They have the spark on the eyes. They have the greatness, the desire, and the confidence. Yes, I am the one who I'm going to make it. Yes, that's what you have to pay more attention, because even maybe the physical ability and that specific moment is not that great, that can be developed. But what is inside, what is psychological aspect, it's hard to develop. You can make improvements, but never you can make a little scared rabbit to be a lion, and that's the point in gymnastics.
The McNamara family, apart for much of Julianne's life, is together again. Her parents have moved to Houston, and she remembers their support, not their absence.
You have a lot of people with you during the good times, but during the bad times, you don't always have so many people with you, and my family has been the ones that have stayed with me.
That was Julianne McNamara at home, and there she is now. We'll be back with the second rotation in just a moment. Pavilion at UCLA, and there are the standings after the first rotation in the women's optionals. Romania still leading. In fact, they picked up 0.15 of a point on the United States, despite Julianne McNamara's marvelous 10. The U.S. trails now by 0.6 of a point. The Chinese are still in third. West Germany and Canada fourth and fifth. The second rotation has begun. The United States on the balance beam. There you see the three apparatus. The unbalanced beam. In the middle is the floor exercise, and the balance beam at the end of Pauley Pavilion, and that is where the United States is. We're looking at Christina Grigoris of Romania.
And Christine has a very good entrance on the uneven bars. It's a front flip. Critical time is you must get high enough to not hit her head. Little stop there. The coach almost got hit. As long as that coach doesn't get in the way, they're all right. So far moving fairly well. Little hesitant on that one move in the beginning. Their hip handstand. Very tall for a gymnast. To her twisting movement on the high bar to the low bar. Straddle over. She has to watch her foot form. Sometimes her feet get a little flat. One toe on. And her Comaneci with a half twist. Good exercise.
Christina Grigoris. All 97 pounds of her.
You can see that they really have faced the pressure before. Let's take another look at her mount. Watch how her head has to get very high above that low bar so she doesn't hit it and cause her timing to be off. She sits a little bit flat there, makes her half twist. And we hear the crowd booing, and basically what they're booing about is Pam Bilek's 9.5 on the balance beam. And here's Christine's dismount. It's a Coleman, each named after Nadia herself, her teammate. Christina Grigoris, good routine.
They come from a big... Here we are at the balance beam. Michelle Ducer, 9.80 for Gregorius on that unbalanced bar.
Teammate Pam Bilek, right before Michelle, did an excellent routine.
The piano music, again, we would tell you, is for the floor exercise, which the Chinese team is performing at the moment. And it must be a little distracting to the person on the balance beam.
A little bit, but if you just notice, Michelle did a swing to a side flip, and that is extra risk. Those judges will award that with a 10th. Or maybe even 2. Ready for her back handspring into a back layout.
Oops.
Little break there. That's a 5/10 of a point deduction right there when you hold on to the beam like that. Full turn, a lot of pressure, these ladies. Basically what this means is that this has to be, if her score is lower than the others, and they count those 5 scores, then they have to be good ones. Otherwise, we'll have no chance of making up. Interesting connecting move here. Chest stand. I think they've endured the pressure very well. We need to continue the concentration at this point. And a double twist. Good exercise. One major break, though. Let's see if the other girls can come up with real strong routines.
Pam Bilek has already done her balance beam exercise and got a 9.60. Now let's take a look so you can see the break here.
Okay, she goes into the back handspring. Looks right on. Shoulders, hips, legs in line. Difficult move. It's blind. You cannot see the beam until you're almost on top of it. You can see right here she grasps under the beam. They can take, actually, not 5/10, that's 3/10 with one hand catching the beam.
How do you
like
get your concentration back when that happens?
Well, a lot of times what happens is that you take a deep breath and the bad thing has happened, so you go on. Other times it truly just knocks the rest of the routine out, but she handled it well. She also did a triple twist on that dismount, not a double twist.
We're at the uneven bars now, and this is Laura Cutina of Romania.
And these Romanians are fighting. Everybody's done a good job so far. Reverse hecht, straddle over the low bar, and a double leg shoot through. Right to the handstand, just what the judges are looking for. There's a front Somiet Delchev there. Moving quite well so far. A little tiny lady, only about 4'8". Moves in between the bars very well. And her giant swings here. She's getting ready for a double back. Dismount, perfect landing. These girls are on.
Laura Cutina of the Romanians. And she's the coming star. Part of the new wave.
Exactly. There's her kip to a handstand. Looks straight body. That's what the judges want to see. Straight body in all their handstands. And another double flyaway. Nice and high above that bar.
Well, it's a 9.40 for Michelle Ducer on the balance beam, and that will hurt.
Here's her dismount once again. She has to rise way above the bar. This swing is giving her the momentum to really lay out, tuck those feet in, and get that double back with no problem. She stands up very high at the end.
A 9.9 for Laura Cutina on the uneven bars. There it is.
They also have a critical routine coming up, and that is on the balance beam where Tracy is right now. And Tracy has been moving very well. She's been one of our toughest competitors on this event, always consistent. But the difficulty level is so great now, anything could happen. That balance beam only 4 inches wide.
It's like an instrument of torture to me. I don't know how they can do it.
By the way, that was the Thomas Flair on the balance beam. As, of course, our own Kurt Thomas performed it first on the floor exercise, and now we have it on the balance beam. So you can see anything can be done on the balance beam. Her aerial cartwheel right into a back handspring. Good combination move. Right into a gainer layout. Look at the concentration. You can tell Tracy is experienced. She knows just what she has to do. She's thinking constantly how each move should be executed. getting ready for her dismount. Round off, double back. Oh, big break there. We're having a little trouble on the balance beam.
Down to the knees on that.
That's going to cost us a lot because if her score is not higher than Pam's, then
Yes,
we are going to have a couple of low scores.
9.60 and a 9.40, and now Tracy. Let's take another look.
But the Romanians also have to get on the balance beam, and we will see if they can handle the pressure. Here's that Thomas flare right into a split. Tracy is the one and only person on the balance beam in this competition doing that move. Another look at Tracy's dismount, round off. You can imagine landing both feet on that 4-inch. It just looked like that she was a little under-rotated. Obviously disappointed.
Waiting for the score.
As we've said many, many times, the balance beam is an event that can make or break you. And with all the difficulty, the high level of difficulty they're doing on the balance beam, it's very unpredictable. As much as these girls practice, and they do practice maybe 25 to 30 routines a day just on this event.
It is to women what the pommel horse is to the men, isn't it?
That's what I have heard from the men, yes.
Let's watch the Katerina Szabo.
An aggressive style like Mary Lou Retton. So far, Mount was very good. Front roll to a handstand. Good grip. There's a grip change. Ah, big break there.
Whoa.
We may be able to make up some points, actually.
And Agaki had a 9.55 just
So
before, so we might be moving closer together.
That's right. And they also, as I said, have the beam coming up. There's a reverse tack. So we may not be so far out of range as we thought. Oh, big break. We're even about now, it seems. Oh, very disappointed at this point.
9.15 for Tracy. We've gone progressively lower, and it's the first time this week that I remember that that's happened. Let's watch the first break.
Let's take up this handstand. You can see she switched hands. She hit her foot on the bar, stopped her momentum. Timing is so critical on this event. Also, she hit the floor just slightly. She brushed the floor on her straddle down. Here's her dismount now. Let's take a look. I believe she came off the bar just a little bit too early. You can see she's getting prepared, throws those knees way up. She's about parallel to the bar. Her body is in a, as we call, a cowboy situation. She's falling very quickly, has no time to stand up. Feet didn't get quite in front of her enough, and you can see that it can be hard on the head there. Big break for Ekaterina. But she has to go on.
And that's one of their big ones. She's carrying a lot of pressure, too. She's known as the second Nadia, you know, or the new Nadia, which is an awful heavy load to carry around on you.
Which just goes to show you that the skill level, as I said on the balance beam, is very unpredictable. They're doing one superior difficulty after another.
Their best gymnast at the moment. And it can happen to the best. 9.30. 9.30 for the big one for Romania on the uneven bars. And the music strikes up for the Chinese on the floor exercise as... Let us show you Lavina Agaki just before Szabo for the Romanians.
And another large break. You can see that the pressure is affecting the Romanians as much as the Americans. They're spiked up like racehorses, but they need the control as well. Double H shoot-through coming to the high bar. Getting her momentum back now and getting ready for her dismount. Getting enough speed built up. There's that double back, done very well, unlike Ekaterina Szabo.
She got a 9.55 for that. Looks like the United States, though, will still lose a little more ground, but not as much as we might have, because we have a 9.6 and a 9.4 we're going to have to live with. Kathy Johnson has already done her balance beam, and we're waiting for the score. Julianne McNamara will be next on the balance beam. As the girls warm up, the Romanians there in the aisle, Julianne waiting. This interminable wait for the scores to come up.
This is the hardest event to have to wait around on. You try to stay warm. You warm up on the sidelines. Kathy waiting on her score right now. She had a couple of little breaks, but for the most part, a spectacular routine.
And up at the scorer's table there is Nadia Comaneci, the immortal. The greatest Romanian of all, here to cheer on her teammates, her countrymen.
Keeping close tabs on her Romanian companions. And Kathy doesn't really know what's going on at the time. That is Ro Kreitzer with her. She is the team manager.
And we seem to have a conference.
There's Jackie Fye and head judge on the balance beam.
Nadia is not here as a judge, or just here as a guest. And
Spectator as a cheerleader for her team. And the audience is getting very impatient.
And Julianne waiting, pacing. And it breaks the rhythm of everything. Mary Lou Retton there.
There's a tremendous amount of
Judges
pressure.
here on the balance beam are from the chief judge is from the United States, Mrs. Fye, and then we have Senorita Alberto from Spain, one from China, one from Brazil, and one from Rome.
I must say that excuse me, Jack, I must say we are on our way to becoming more objective with open scoring.
So Jackie Fye. You saw in the piece that Ann Simon interviewed Jackie Fye about the new changes in the scoring system, which will make a lot of controversy disappear. They're going to go to 6 figures, 3 more after the decimal point, and won't have the situation that came up in the compulsories with Mary Lou Retton not getting a full 10 on her floor exercise, which the American coaches thought she should have had.
And with 6 judges, maybe it will become more objective.
Once again, these balance beam judges are from the United States, Spain, China, Brazil, and Romania.
Actually, what's happening right now is Jackie is talking to Madam Berger, one of the heads of the Women's Technical Committee, and apparently they cannot solve the problem with just the head judge. So they are going to the very head of the Women's Technical Committee to find out what can be done or what should be done.
In the meantime, Julianne and all of us wait. And Mary Lou Retton, who will go on the balance beam after Julianne. And Kathy Johnson, waiting to see how she did on the balance beam.
So frustrating.
Coach Don Peters, women's team, the United States.
Psychologically really boosting these ladies. I might mention there's Marie
Yes.
Roethlisberger standing right next to Don Peters.
The little girl clapping right there.
I might mention that Marie was the alternate on the team. She has a hearing defect and really a remarkable lady. And by the way, her father, Fred Roethlisberger, was on the 1968 Olympic team with me, and must be a very proud dad indeed.
What a handicap to overcome because of that inner ear and the balance for a sport that requires great balance.
Right. You're right.
Well, there's the boss. That's Yuri Titov, the head of the International Federation of Gymnastics, and he's on the phone, I guess, saying, hurry up.
That's right. I think he's doing a little more than that, but he is from the Soviet Union, and along with Teresheva, another representative, Lyudmila Teresheva, one of the great gymnasts of all time, who is, by the way, head judge on the vaulting.
So everything has come to a standstill here at Pauley Pavilion.
And the spectators are getting colder, and the gymnasts as well. But I guess this is the Olympics, and they want to make sure they're right on.
Is this just a difference of opinion, or?
Well, whenever there's a discrepancy, as we've said in the past, between the 2 middle scores, then that head judge calls everybody together. And sometimes those judges, not the head judge, but the other ones, fight for their score, fight for their right to put up the score they wanted to put up to begin with.
Well, now the other 2 teams are finished with this second rotation. They're going to have to wait. There it is, finally, the longest 9.6 in gymnastic history. Kathy Johnson gets 9.60.
And the spectators certainly don't like that. They thought it should have been higher.
Don Peters doesn't like it either.
No.
Now we go to Julianne McNamara.
And this has to put a tremendous amount of pressure on Julianne. She knows that her score has to be high. And this is the event that is so incredibly pressuring. She starts with a one-arm handstand. Very few women in the world can do this as well as Julianne. And big break there. Oh, too long a wait for it. It's very unfair for Julianne. Jump stag. That kind of weight is really psychologically so bad. Full turn. Seems she almost should have had a chance to warm up again. Gainer layout. Very classy individual on this event. And her back handsprings. 2 of them in a row. Superior difficulty. And here's another press handstand. This lady rarely falls off this apparatus. She's had such tremendous training. Watch this plant, and she'll go right into a back hip circle. Usually only seen on the uneven bars. She was the first to do that. And another gainer back handspring, little bobbles. You can see she's a bit nervous. But you can't let it stop. You have to continue, as we've said in the past. Keep that momentum going. Getting ready for a dismount now. Cartwheel, double twist.
All right.
Fine landing. Courageous lady there.
Well, she waited a long time. Now we have Mary Lou Retton left. Julianne comes down, and I hope she doesn't have to wait as long for her score.
Hopefully not.
Look how long her arms are. She's just a strong little girl.
Now, she does the press handstand very well. I think she was a little bit nervous. You can see that her legs start twisting just a little. She tries to regain her composure, but her seat and her back are just too far off the beam. Let's take another look at that dismount. Cartwheel with a double twist. This lady has springs in her legs. Gets wound up here, punches very hard off that back foot, actually. Gets up in the air. You can see that she starts her twist immediately off that balance beam, stays in the air almost suspended, and watches the floor so she can make a good landing here.
Which she did. Talking with Don Peters, discussing her performance. Mary Lou Retton waiting, and here's the score, 9-2-0. So the United States is going to fall quite a bit behind the Romanians here, despite the fact that the Romanians had a few breaks.
That's right. We're still, we have 2 of our best events coming up, however, and we have Mary Lou Retton on the balance beam. She's aggressive, tough.
Mary Lou Retton now. We're told on Kathy Johnson there was too big a range in the score, a difference in the score, and that's what the holdup was
In
for.
the 2 middle scores, exactly. She's being aggressive so far. You know it's early in the routine, but you can tell almost immediately she does not hold back. Getting herself set up right into a back tuck. Slight bobble there. That's only a minor break. You can see her confidence. 2 scissor leaps. Very difficult, risky moves. Okay, here's a big move coming up. Front flip. And she nailed it. If she can just hold on to this routine, this crowd will go nuts. She's done this routine many, many times. Back tuck. Look how solid she is. Those shoulders and hips right in line. You can see the confidence on her face. Showing her flexibility now. This is what the media has been talking about. This aggressive lady, so tough. As we hold our breath, she gets ready for her dismount. Okay, let's see if she can hit it. Round off, double back, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
there. A great last routine. That's what we needed. Get the confidence back up.
Yes, sir. Mary Lou Retton, the last one of the balance beam. Get it back on the beam.
Right.
There she is for a curtain call.
Even at those judges as well. Dynamic young lady. Let's take another look at that first flip. Hard move. move to do. Very blind. You cannot see that beam till you're right on it. And she's practiced that so many times in practice. Let's take another look at that dismount. Watch how high she is. This is all the talk about those strong legs shows up right here. Way in the air. You can see she finishes one flip, still above the beam, goes into the second one, and she finishes with almost standing straight up. Couldn't be done better.
Way to go, Mary Lou Retton. Look at her running all that energy.
All around the gym.
She's got more energy than a fossil fuel.
No, not everything you focus.
Yeah.
No, you pull down and don't forget, high as you can. Pull down on the second tumbling test, okay?
Right.
Stay long, take your time, and high, and hit the back over. Keep on your mind, you're gonna come back. I'm going on another side, all right? Go over there.
Oh, this is good.
Ayla Korodian is telling her, no, 9.75.
For the difficulty level of this,
9.75 for Mary Lou Retton.
unbelievable.
Now, we understand that the United States is protesting the score on Kathy Johnson, too.
You can bet they'll protest that score as well.
And the United States will move over to floor exercise, in which they are rather strong.
Especially the last two you just saw on that stage.
I'd like to notify our affiliated stations along the line now that we'll take a 2-minute local news break. So we'll resume our coverage of the games of the 23rd Olympiad after this brief news break.
It was probably the happiest and proudest moment of both mine and everyone else that was there in life. It was just so fantastic that he did as well as he did.
A parade and a reception are in the works for Tim.
Protest signed by Coach Don Peters, protesting Pam Bilik's beam exercise and Kathy Johnson. So we'll see how far that gets. 1.15 points we dropped in that rotation on the balance beam, which has been the bête noire of many people, but it really came up and hit the United States women, didn't it?
It certainly did. And there's Coach Don Peters, by the way, moving on to the next event. I know he's upset about those protests, but he knows he has to continue his coaching and get these girls psyched up for their third event.
Very interesting over on that beam. There's a judge from China and a judge from Romania.
And you can bet that both of them want to get as close as they can, especially China, to the United States in order to threaten them from taking this silver.
Talavera.
Very strong competitor on this event. She begins with a double pike. She's especially good in the area of dance. She's elegant. Right on. Know what they have to do on this event. Strong event for the U.S. Double back. Couldn't be better. They're mad now.
Don't get mad, get even.
That's right. Years of experience is showing up right now. Lovely dance. Confidence and straight. This lady has it under pressure. Now they have to show a change of pace in their routine, and this is what you're hearing right now. They also need a great deal of endurance for their last tumbling run. Double twist. Super routine for Tracy. They're coming back. Unique ending here. Nothing wrong with that routine.
All right, Tracy.
There's that little clap overhead. Look at that. Camaraderie, sportsmanship, all right there. Let's take another look at that last tumbling run. As we said, this takes a great deal of endurance. It's like running the 440. You've done so many difficult elements prior. It takes a great deal of effort, especially to get up in the air and twist twice. As you can see here, one right into the other one when you're tired, but she nails it. Nothing can stop her now.
All right, when we say we're in the third rotation, it means simply that there are, what did Tracy get? 980, Tracy, way to go. All right. There are 4 pieces of gymnastic equipment for women's competition, and each one is called a rotation as we go to the Chinese women on the ball.
And that was a round off to the board, right into a back handspring position on the horse to a full twist. The Chinese have had difficulty in this event in the past. They were weak in their ankles and legs. They've improved a great deal.
That was Chao Churi of China, and then now we're going back to the floor exercise, Pam Byler.
Beautiful move coming up here. Full in, and she landed it. Extremely difficult move. They do a double back and put a full twist on the first back flip. Very complicated to say, let alone do.
See the Romanian women on the beam behind there.
Exactly. Michaela Stanulet on the balance beam behind her. There's a second time we run front to a round off flip flop double twist, showing her twist movement effortlessly. Reminds you of opening ceremonies.
Chao Churi of China had 9.65 on that vault we just saw.
Pam's choreography is so unique. She works with Mary Wright, who is an assistant to Coach Don Peters. Lovely stretch. The ballet pays off. You can see her little hardness in her face, but she's going to be aggressive on this double twist, and she nails it. Another fine routine for the Americans.
Pam Byler. Well, coming into these final 2 rotations, we're on our strongest apparatus, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Everyone has a tough routine, and especially our last 2 competitors, Mary Lou and Julianne. But let's take another look at Pam's second tumbling run. Her front flip, she shows front tumbling here. It's actually called a Russian front. They invented that move, so it is named after them. Right into a round-off back handspring, which should be stretched. She lays up and does a double twist here, twice around. And you can see her trying to keep her legs together. The judges don't see any kind of separation, usually. Good exercise.
9.80, the second one. Tracy Talavera, 9.80. Pamela Bilek, 9.80.
Despite the balance problems on the balancing, they have been the toughest American team I have ever seen.
And her schoolmate from Pacifica High School, Michelle Dessert, will be next.
It is quite a credit to the team of the Scats in Huntington Beach, California. They have 4 girls on the Olympic team. Here's Laura Coutina on the balance beam, 3rd best on the Romanian team. Concentrating now. She does a round off back handspring right onto the beam. You can't do it better than that. Each move is very clean. She has good ballet background. Getting ready for a big acrobatic series here. Back handspring right into a back layout. You can see that her shoulders, hips, and feet are right in line. She's going to stay directly over that balance beam. Laying on the beam now, showing flexibility. This lady always has confidence. She's very aggressive. She does not hold back. Every move is controlled. They'll walk over right on. In the gym, they do one routine after the other. In fact, they barely take any warm-up, which is unusual. A little low on that leap, and low on that jump. Split also. The judges want to see as much height on all the jumps and leaps as possible.
That applause is for Michelle Dessert's floor exercise. Doesn't seem to disturb Laura.
No, not at all. Double back, a little off-center there. But a good routine for her.
Training center for the Romanians is in Deva, about 200 miles from Bucharest, and that's where most of these young girls live.
they train together a great deal because there are a lot of world competitions that they all go for. Back handspring to a back layout, you can see that she was right on, shoulders, hips in line, and that's what a gymnast thinks about most of the time through their move, just to keep everything in line, keep that beam centered right down the center.
And we have a 9.90 for Michelle Dessert in floor exercise.
They are making up points quickly.
That will move us up a bit.
Moves in slow motion in front of them.
Now Kathy Johnson at the floor exercise.
Kathy shows such grace, probably more so than anyone. And the first tumbling run, another risky move, Kathy. Triple twist, which she nailed in warm-up. She was having difficulty with it, but she came through. Shades of Ben Casey.
Well, Laura Katina got 9.80 on the beam.
Run, double pike. Break there for Kathy. Not too big a break, though. Elegance, her swan-like movement. First tumbling run for Kathy. She was right on, building the speed only in a few steps, because if you run too far, you're going to run out of room at the end. In fact, she ran even farther than a lot of gymnasts, but she goes up so high. Actually, that's her double or triple twist right there, right on. A little short, but she moves so quickly the judges will not even see that. Okay, let's take another look at the break here. The round-off flip-flop is right on. She gets into her pike. She leans back. Looks like she just didn't have quite enough rotation. She did not, and that's what caused the fall.
And 9.65 is what the judges rate her. Kathy Johnson.
That's a 3/10 of a point deduction for a break like that, and she's disappointed. But the rest of the routine was fabulous.
Julianne McNamara. I am ready.
Julianne is pretty secure on this event. You rarely see her break. Of course, her opening tumbling run is extremely difficult. It's a full-in double back. 2 back flips with a full twist on the first back. Here it is. Round off back handspring, full in, and she is on, and she can't relax, but she's certainly confident about that particular move, and she can move on now and enjoy the routine. Dynamic competitor. Excitement to music. Feeling when that audience gets behind you is so great. Her second tumbling run up back handspring, double tuck, and she's on. Oh, look at that smile. Play it for everything you got. first tumbling run, Jack, she just nailed this, and I know that she was nervous about it before she performed it. Remember, 2 backflips with a full twist on the first backflip. You'll be able to see it right here. There's the first backflip with a twist. She comes out of it, pulls those legs in, and really jerks them around. As you can see, she's coming out. Pulls up very hard with those stomach muscles and shoulders. Take another look at the tumbling run. Down up back after.
All right, a 10 for Julianne. She hit it, and you called it, Kathy. Oh, did you call it?
Well, Julianne deserves it. Woo! Couldn't be happier for a nicer woman than Julianne.
They're on their feet at Paulie once again.
And Mary Lou is standing there getting ready to go and smiling for her teammates. As Julianne gave her a little look of confidence and
Waiting, here's Mary Lou Retton, and in this floor exercise, she'll explode like an uncontrolled temper. Watch her. She is ready. She had a 9.5 in the compulsories, and most people, 9.95, and most people thought it should have been a 10.
She is tight. Watch how high this woman tumbles, completes her tumbling moves that are so complicated. Double layout! Look at that thing.
Well, the Laura Coutina did a 9.8 on the beam, and Agaki has gotten a 9.4. And Ekaterina Szabo got a 9.95.
Here's your second tumbling run. Watch this. Full in! Their second tumbling run, little break there, but the difficulty of the move is just